I work as a tour guide, and today I want to share something with you that happened to me a few years ago. Something I still can't quite explain. This happened 4 years ago during one of my regular 7-day tours from Hong Kong to Thailand. I've done this route countless times. Same itinerary, different faces. This trip was no different. There were just 25 guests in total for this particular trip, and everything went smoothly. No drama, no complaints. Everyone was polite, kept to the schedule, and seemed to enjoy themselves. But what happened on the last day still haunts me and has me questioning reality. It happened on the morning we were all supposed to return home to Hong Kong. Our group had instructions to meet in the hotel lobby at 7 a.m. sharp, ready to head to the airport. One by one, the guests came down with their bags, chatting, checking their phones, doing all the usual things. But one person didn't show up. It was a male guest who had come on the door alone. Let's call him Mr. Chen. I won't use his real name out of respect. At first, I figured he was just running a little late. Maybe he overslept. Nothing unusual. We gave his room a call, no answer. So we headed up and knocked. Still no answer. That's when we asked the hotel staff to open the door just in case something had happened. They unlocked it and the door creaked open. The room was empty. No suitcase, no clothes, not a single personal belonging in sight. But the bed. The bed had clearly been slept in. The sheets were rumpled. The pillow indented like someone had just been there and then vanished. I started to feel a little uneasy. We had a schedule to keep, and I couldn't delay the entire group. After a bit of discussion, my colleague, since we always traveled in Paris, offered to stay behind and handle the situation. They could contact the police, file a missing persons report, and wait at the hotel. I took the remaining 24 guests to the airport and flew back to Hong Kong. Once I got back home, our headquarters began reaching out to Mr. Chen's emergency contact number. The number he listed when he signed up for the trip months ago. A woman picked up the phone. Our team explained who we were and asked if she had heard from Mr. Chen in the past day or so. There was a long pause, and then, in a confused voice, she asked, "Why are you calling about him? This is the tour company?" "I don't understand. Mr. Chen passed away in a car accident days before he was even supposed to go on the trip. He never made it on that trip." Then she hung up. My boss described it as bone-chilling. After he heard that, we double-checked everything. It made no sense. I personally checked in 25 people when we departed Hong Kong. I saw them board the plane. I counted them again when we arrived. Mr. Chen was there. Quiet, yes, kept to himself, but absolutely there. He joined us at meals, sat on the bus, always in a seat by the window. He even participated in every group activity. He was always very polite, though he didn't really say much unless spoken to. When he did speak, it was always in short replies, but I figured maybe he was just going through something, maybe a recent breakup. People take solo trips for all kinds of reasons. I let him be. He's even in the group photos in every single one. My boss asked if I could have miscounted on day one. Maybe he never came at all. That's impossible. If he'd been a no-show, I would have flagged it immediately. That's protocol. Also, I'm not the only one that saw him. Everyone else saw him and talked to him and interacted with him. And get this, the tips that he left, real money. It was still in my wallet after I got home. The police in Thailand got involved and pulled immigration records. That's when things got even stranger. There was no record, none, of Mr. Chen ever entering Thailand or leaving. We, as tour guides, always go through immigration first. Guests follow behind at their own pace. They're free to join any line they feel will be the quickest. And then we just regroup on the other side. Mr. Chen was there, just like the rest. But according to official records, he never came. and yet he was with us. The hotel staff remembered him. Other guests remembered him. He signed his name on group forms. He walked, he talked, and he ate with us. He even posed for a group photo on the last night of the trip. I still have it. You can clearly see his face as vividly as the rest of us, looking straight at the camera. So, who or what was this man who joined us in Thailand? Even now, I still don't have an explanation. But he never caused any trouble, never made anyone feel uneasy. There was no malice in him, just this quiet presence, like someone who was just simply along for the ride. And sometimes, I wonder if he really was a spirit. Maybe he had been looking forward to this trip. Maybe it was just something he'd planned before everything changed. And in his own quiet way, he came anyway. One last journey before finally moving on. While I'm on this topic, there's another story that I want to share with you. This one didn't happen to me personally. It happened to a colleague of mine. His name is Benny. He used to work as a tour guide too for a different company. Used to. What happened to him shook him up so badly he ended up quitting the job altogether. It's been a few years now, but even today he can't bring himself to talk about it for very long. The memory still clings to him, like something wet and cold. You just can't shake it off. Similar to my story, he still can't explain what exactly happened, as it made no sense at all. At the time, Benny was leading a tour from Hong Kong to Japan. It wasn't one of the big cities though. No Tokyo, no Osaka. This was one of those remote, tucked away places, the kind of area tourists rarely visit. Quiet, isolated, forgotten by time. After landing at the airport, Benny did the usual head count, and the group boarded a bus for the long journey to their hotel, which was several hours away. Midway through the drive, they made a single pit stop, just 10 minutes. The place. It was a rundown public restroom off a narrow, winding road. Not the kind of bathroom most people imagine when they think of Japan. This was old, primitive. The stalls were little more than wooden dividers. Instead of toilets, there were just holes in the floor. Holes that emptied directly into a slow-moving river beneath the structure. Everyone had 10 minutes to stretch to use the facilities and then get back on the bus. And they did that. Benny counted everyone again before departure. Every guest was present. Then they continued the long drive to the hotel. Once they finally got there, Benny collected all of the keys from reception and handed them out to everyone. The guests all went up to drop off their luggage and to freshen up. They were supposed to meet back in the hotel lobby in 30 minutes to meet up and head out for dinner. Half an hour later, almost everyone had returned except for one couple. Benny waited 5 more minutes than 10. Still no sign of them. He went up to their room and knocked. No response. He figured maybe they decided to explore the area on their own. Not ideal, but not unheard of. The group went on ahead and headed out to dinner without the couple. Later that evening, after returning to the hotel, Benny checked the couple's room again. Still nothing. By morning, concern turned to alarm. The couple didn't show up for breakfast either. That's when Benny contacted hotel management and asked them to unlock the door. They turned the key and the door opened. And what they found didn't make any sense. The couple's suitcases were inside, standing neatly by the door, but the beds were untouched. Crisp sheets, perfectly made. Benny decided to open one of the couple's luggages just to make sure that nothing was taken out. All of their clothes were still neatly packed in there. It was as if they had never arrived, and yet, clearly, they had. There was no choice now. Benny had to call the local police. When guests disappear like this, it's serious. You have to follow a report. The police arrived and began their investigations, asking the usual questions. Where had the group stopped? What was the last known location of the missing couple? Benny told him, "We just made that one pit stop on the way here, the restroom out in the middle of nowhere. I still saw the couple here at the hotel last night when I was passing out the keys. They took it from me and headed upstairs." The police were interested in the pet stop that was hours away. They dispatched officers to check it out. When the officers got there and opened one of the stalls, they found them, the couple dead. They didn't release the details of how they died. They just confirmed it was them. But here's what makes the whole thing so disturbing. The couple got back on the bus yesterday. They were there for the head count. They took their room key. They carried their own luggage upstairs. How could their bodies have been left behind at that restroom hours away? Did they somehow return to that bathroom later on after arriving at the hotel, slip out in the night, and travel all the way back to a random pit stop? But music. Why? And how could they have done that without anyone in the front desk noticing? There's only one way in or out of the small hotel. There's someone at the front desk 24 hours a day. It's an old hotel, so there are no cameras for us to verify that the couple actually arrived at the hotel, but everyone saw them. There are no answers, just more questions that make your skin crawl. Benny never let another door after that, and honestly, I don't blame him.